Hey y'all, I'm Nathan, and I want to start posting on my YouTube channel. So I kind of want to have a channel that is dedicated to kind of the intersection of my interests, where you can talk about culture, philosophy, spirituality, politics, books and music and art and writing and reading and other things like that. I'm a little scruffy right now, but it is what it is. My first video I thought would be actually to speak about this book that I picked up yesterday, Algospeak by Aleksic, also entomology nerd on all social media, I think. So this book I'm very excited to read it. I've already started it, but I'm not all the way through. I got it yesterday. But I wanted to speak about it because this is something that I think is so important to understand and talk about and have a more nuanced view of, because this is something that is basically an invisible force shaping our lives. The ways that we speak, the ways that we think, the ways that we act in this world are all being shaped by these invisible forces online. So Algospeak is basically the language that people use when speaking online. And as time has gone on, as these social media companies have realized ways to make money through advertising on social media and online, they're using algorithms to maximize engagement. Obviously, this is why short form media has exploded since at first YouTube and then TikTok, and now where all these social media platforms are integrating short form media into everything. And this short form media is being basically aggregated by tracking your data and using it to show you videos that you would be engaged with, that you would most likely engage with. And they're very effective. And there are times where people feel more seen by their algorithms than by the people they have in their lives, which is a crazy thing that's happening. And so when you bring it to this kind of linguistics perspective that is here, how social media is transforming the future of language, we have to understand the time scale that we're talking about. And this is the perspective that I'm bringing to this book, is that language has been around in terms of like written language for like 5,000 years since Mesopotamia, and the Sumerians, and then also the Egyptians around the same time. You also have the Harappans in India and the Yellow River Valley in China. And language is very, very recent. Humans have been evolving for around 300,000 years. And language, our mouthy word noises, are basically what has allowed us to take over the world. Our adaptability, our language, and just our enduring human spirit. And so when we speak, we are carrying thousands of years of linguistic history behind us. And there are centuries that have shaped our understanding of language. But this has all been changing. In this book, it talks about 3 different times that language has hit a turning point. And that is the invention of written language, the invention of the printing press, and now the invention of the internet. And right before the internet was also TV and radio. But this one is focusing on the internet because this is what we're experiencing now. The internet is essentially the penultimate form of information dissemination that we've created as a species. This is the most connected that we've ever been in terms of like communication and information dissemination. But it's also led us to this weird paradox where it's now also the most disconnected we feel from ourselves, from our lives, and from the real people in our reality, offline, in meat space. And so it's really interesting when we're online. This is the most meta edge of linguistic evolution that is happening in our world today. Language is changing so rapidly now because of the internet, because of the literally billions of people who are on social media every single day. The evolution of language in these niche internet communities is rapidly changing. Our psyches, our human consciousness is changing because of the internet rapidly. And we are on the precipice of this. This is the meta edge of it. And the forces that are aggregating and funneling us around the internet are the invisible forces that are shaping this linguistic development. And not only is it just algorithms, but it's also censorship online. And now this has had some very weird effects as language has continued to develop, and as well as memes. One of the people that I really like is a guy named Aiden Walker. He used to work for Know Your Meme and basically does cultural meme analysis and internet history. And he's talked about this too. But as we look at the way memes have even changed with online, I mean, memes literally go through like artistic eras where you have like impressionism, surrealism, post-impressionism. You have core, you have brain rot, you have inherently absurdist memes that reject meaning altogether. The meaning of 6'7" is that it has no meaning. It's literally like 6'7" is the best evidence that we have that postmodernists won the culture war. And that's a quote from Aiden Walker, so go check him out. But anyways, the algorithms that exist online that are shuffling us around into these basically engagement black holes, these where they just want our attention, and so they funnel us through these just like space-time almost, where you just get sucked into these funnels, these echo chambers, these information silos, that you're no longer engaging with opposing viewpoints, that the conservative rage machine online is a very real industry. It's extremely profitable. Like, look at Joe Rogan, look at Jordan Peterson, look at whoever that fuckface is that said Puerto Rico was an island of trash, or this floating island of trash. Donald Trump, this whole alt-right sphere created by Steve Bannon is this weird online space that is creating a lot of the language that we're experiencing now online, like alphas, like Andrew Tate, sigmas, jelking, maxing, gooning. We have all this incel language, and then you also have things like woke that has been weaponized to, like, this amorphous like blob that means nothing, but like it's this force that is like that is so weak in our culture, but at the same time poses some existential threat to our culture, according to these like far-right lunatics. It's just this amorphous, just catch-all umbrella that allows them to basically demonize some subsect of the population that no one really knows what it is, and then use that to manufacture consent to do whatever government overreach that people want. And by people, I mean the Stephen Millers and the Peter Thiels and the Larry Ellisons of our world, who want to create a techno-feudalist state run by a CEO, God King. And so to understand all of these things through the lens of how language shapes culture, it shapes thought, it shapes the way we understand reality, it is literally functions as the labels that our brain uses to understand our external and internal realities. And as we go through this process of understanding language and how it shapes our entire understanding of our world, and now recognize and respect that the internet is now the precipice and leading edge of linguistic evolution right now, and it's happening at a rate faster than ever before in history, this is very clearly a turning point for our species. And this book is something that covers that. It covers the different examples of this like linguistic development within our culture. In the table of contents, it goes, why your kids are saying unalive, how to play linguistic whack-a-mole, sticking out your gyat for the Rizzler, no, because what happened to your attention, why everyone sounds the same online, the algorithm really knows me, word-pilled slang maxing, it's giving appropriation, what are we wearing this summer, okay boomer, and are we cooked? And so the linguistic development that's happening online is being shaped by these invisible forces through algorithms and profit motive of these corporations that are very opaque. And we don't really understand exactly how these algorithms function yet, because there's so much privacy culture around all this, and like intellectual property and whatever. But the ways that social media is transforming the future of language is very, very fascinating to me. And we're living through this time right now. And with the development of AI, as it continues to explode onto the scene, which is definitely not a bubble, it's totally a bubble. And we all know that. And we see the economics of America just splitting, where the reality for some, like the economy keeps going up, but the lives of 99% of the people in our country are getting worse, actively. And this divergence in like this shattering of reality is very stark, and people are recognizing it. I'm seeing YouTubers like Drew Goodman, and Moist Critical, and these people that I've watched for a while are putting out videos that are very leftist, but they've never been explicitly political. And so this is a very real thing that people are recognizing, even if they don't have language for it. And it's going to continue to shape our world. And at this point, the 7 richest people in the world are all tech media like billionaires, people that own social media companies, people that own tech companies, people that own the online space. And I don't think that's going to change. And so we are going to be preparing ourselves for a time of continuous rapid development and change. And we have to go under the hood of our culture and see what are the forces that are shaping our realities, that are shaping the ways we understand our realities, the way we think and speak about our realities. And how can we shine a light on that to better understand this? Algospeak. I'm very excited to continue to read this. And I will continue to probably give my thoughts on it, probably once I finish it. So that's just a discussion on that. Peace.